Is it morning yet? Oh, hi there. Good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch Weiss. You notice I put my last name down there. It's about time that people start to know me for who I really am, Mitch Weiss. It's a long story. You probably know it by now. If you don't, I'll tell you one day, but I'm still Old Guy Carnivore, and don't ever forget it. I don't know whether to change my channel name to Old Guy Carnivore Mitch Weiss or Mitch Weiss Old Guy Carnivore, but I want people to start to know me by my first and last name. It's very important to me. So, welcome everybody. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch Weiss, and as usual, my friends, drink it if you got it. I did stick my logo and channel name up in the corner above my head, as you can see, so you don't forget. Also, my name this way takes up less room on the screen. I like that. It's good. Glad to see the bus has arrived and people are filing in. Good. And we'll fade the music out professionally. And here we are. Welcome. Thursday morning. Or don't forget, we have a live stream tonight for the private community, and I look forward to that. I always have a good time with you guys. Been great lately. We've been having a full house, and Hollywood Squares on the screen. Hope to see you all there tonight. Maybe some of the new faces. That'd be great. I took a couple of days off from releasing afternoon videos, and woke up this morning. I was wondering if I still got a channel. Absolutely no. Listen to this. Not a single comment on anything overnight. It goes to show you with YouTube, you can't just stop putting out videos for a couple of days. Everybody forgets you and moves on. You'll never forget me, however, because I'm here every morning. But the actual YouTube watching public, YouTube just forgets about you. You're not there for a couple of days, bango, you're gone. They don't recommend your videos. Nothing. It's like a labor camp where you got somebody with a whip on your back 7 days a week, or you're out. They push you. It's not, it can be a little bit unnerving sometimes. But we all play the game, or we can't do it, or we just don't do very much. I was at Kiltsy's this morning. I was up early. I have a new basic morning routine I've been doing for a week now, and I like it. I make sure I'm up before 5 a.m. every day. Make sure I'm in bed by 9:30 at the latest. Get plenty of sleep. Feel good in the morning. Get up. Make my coffee. Get my stinky cup of leucine ready, leucine laced coffee. Grab a cigar, go outside on my porch about 6 a.m. with my stinky coffee, my stinky cigar, and I sit down and I start the day by drinking that stuff mixed with the coffee. Don't smoke a lot, but maybe a couple puffs on the cigar. Watch Kiltsy. See all you guys up there bright and early too. And after it's over at 7 o'clock, then I come in. If I'm going to exercise, I'll do it then. I exercise every other day now. And start to get ready for this thing. And maybe prep a little for the video I'm going to make today. And I've got one coming out this afternoon, and I'll leave it be a surprise for everybody. I won't spoil. But yes, I'm going to release film. I have to film it this morning and release a video this afternoon, and I hope you find it interesting. Hope you find it interesting. Let me say hello to people, then I get to the show notes. First one in last night, Peter, Papa Carnivore. What's this I saw about you, Peter? Being single again? Does that mean that the girlfriend is gone? We need to know, Peter. I guess everybody else knows, because you said you're single again. Well, good luck, my friend. Good luck. I also see something about interviewing for a new job. Wow. A couple of life upheavals there. Then we have somebody I've never heard of, Chalupa Pants. I love that name, Chalupa Pants. How are you? Welcome. If you're here this morning, this was last night, and Rick chimed in. Rick chimed in last night, and we all know what that means. Okay. And Smoothie, see you all for coffee in the morning. He says, Nikki, good evening to you. Wayne is here. Wayne Herman from North Carolina. Furl, Grandma, good morning, Nancy. And Mandy Beddoes here last night from the UK. Lady June. How you doing, June? Jem is here. Or was here last night? No, was here in the middle of the night. Well, it's California, so it's not too, I can understand. Jem at 1:13 a.m. Cynthia Woodstock says, Mitch, I'm glad to see you. Hope you're doing well. It's 12 a.m. in the UK, and I've asked my friends to follow you. Thank you so much. It's very nice of you. CB. Oh, CB. Can't attend this morning. Too tied up all day in court with a serious whatever, and have a great day. You too, CB. I hope we'll see you tonight. Maybe they'll be done with you in court. Yes, he's going in an hour early as well. And we have Mike Seeley. Mike Seeley is, senior. Father of United Carnivore. He's here from Melbourne, neighbor of mine. Greg Smith on the road. How you doing, Greg? I imagine you're out on the road. Look forward to seeing you tonight. Mike Seeley from Tampa's here. We have 8 o'clock in the morning. Smoothie chime back in. And Michael Pregler, good morning to you. Bill Streety. Ozarks having a minor cool down. Well, that's nice. We're still in the middle of summer, that's for sure. And Rick is back this morning. And Thomas is here. Target Prime Rib. Terry, Sue, good morning to you. How you doing? Barry Simon, hi, Barry. How you doing, my friend? And Cliff Medina's here. Hi, Cliff. Good to see you. Tina Strikerath, hope to see you tonight. Good morning to you. Tuka's traveling. Tuka's gone somewhere to sing this morning, and he's on a train. So have a nice ride. Keep in touch. Sandy Blythe checked in. Sneaking up on 8:30. Let's get this out of the way. And anybody else new? Tuka and everybody's talking. Thomas says, I know you were doing an intermittent lion diet. How's that going? And do you find benefits of life? Well, it's hard to say when you're doing something for even less than a month. That's really very close to what you're doing. It's tough to tell the minor changes, if any. And even if you do detect a minor change, at the same time I'm doing that, I've added leucine, I've added creatine. You can't know, Thomas. You just can't know. You can just say overall, I'm feeling pretty good. I like that. I have settled on just every other day. Now that doesn't mean that on my every other day of not eating lion diet, I might not do it anyway, because the majority of what we eat is pretty much meat anyway. But at least every other day, I will eat nothing but meat. And on that, call it an off day, maybe one meal won't be beef. Maybe it'd be bacon and eggs, because I think that's good for me to have the bacon and eggs. But let's do it. So far, nothing I'm doing has killed me yet. Which is a net positive, and I imagine the best I can hope for. There's Larry Ryan. How you doing, Larry? At 8:29. 8:29. We're sneaking up on it. Who won today? I need to get a drum roll sound effect. Here we go. And the winner today is Brian Dish. Good morning, Mitch, and all the Mitch fits. Eat and repeat. That's beef and flame. What is that? At any rate, tiny little emojis. But yes, eat meat, repeat. Aaron is here. Good morning, Aaron. How you doing? Robbie Autry. Good morning, Mitch, and all you Mitch fits. And we're already heavy into the conversation. Joanne T., good morning to you. Chris Swain from Australia. Hi, Chris. Good day, mate. Good day, mate. I saw Crocodile Dundee, too. There's a guy in Australia, in Western Australia. His name is Spike Warner. He's got a YouTube channel named iSpike. He's a wild man. He's a biker and a drone flyer. We became great friends. And every once in a blue moon, you'll see him pop into my chat here in the morning. And his name is iSpike. We did a lot of live streams together. And after about an hour of sitting there talking to Spike, I managed to almost adapt a pretty good Australian accent without realizing it. Same thing happens to me when I talk to somebody from the South. After the conversation's gone for a couple of hours, I start to develop quite the Southern accent. I don't know why that is. Maybe I'm just empathetic that way. Lizzie, good morning to you, and good morning, Donna Ray, Maine Runner. Good to see you. Loretta Nadeau is here. Carnivore Whisper. Here, good morning to you. Gio Brucia. If it's Italian, I imagine it's pronounced Brucia. Look at that setup, Mitch. You look like an air traffic controller. Yes, Gio. I feel like one. Or a broadcast engineer, or both. Tuka still seems to be with us. And, of course, in Finland, it is late afternoon. Yes, sir. Rick chimed in and said, quack time. This is still 8:30. Sybil V, hi, Sybil. Gone over 7 months now. I feel great. Lost 29.5 pounds. Yet, don't forget the half pound. I'm in the 200s again. So excited. Well, congratulations. Congratulations, sweetheart. You got it made. You got it made. Don't let them screw you up now. If you made it this far, you're almost home. You're almost there. Bacon Baby, how you doing? And Voodoo Childs J. Wow. Nice car. Good morning, Mitch. Good morning to you, Voodoo. Glad to see you. Roxanne Friend is here. Said hi to Lizzie already. Let me see. We'll get past 8:30 anyway. Michael Pregler back. Tuca, Bacon Baby. Francine. Bonjour, Francine Bourgeois. How are you? Good day, Mr. Weiss. There you go. And all the Weiss fans. Thank you, Francine. Thank you. And Rockin' Life with Amy. That's a change. That's new. That's good. I'm glad to hear it because you're rocking Carnivore, I hope now. But Rockin' Life with Amy. Yes, sir. Why just rock Carnivore when you can rock life in general? I like that. Today's the day of the name change. Although, I don't think I'm going to officially go on YouTube and actually rename the channel. That just creates so much complication. There's email addresses tied to it, all kinds of things. I don't have to change all that. I'll just stick my name up on the screen. See how many people catch on. Mark Whistler. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Good morning to you. And here's to you, Mark. I'm drinking my coffee out of your Kenny cup this morning. Hard for me to turn around with that hand. Kenny. Black honey. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much. And Richard Williams. Good morning from Copper Hill, Tennessee. He says Lori Weitzel's here. Hello, Mr. Weiss from Ms. Weitzel. Pronounced very close. Very close. And people call me Weiss, and that's annoying. It's not Weiss, it's Weiss. It's a German derivation name. And same thing with Weitzel. Probably not Weitzel, but I'm sure there are people that pronounce it. And there are many people that have this name that don't know how to pronounce it and pronounce it Weiss. So we can't win. And either way works, but Weiss is how you pronounce it. And it's a German word, and it means white. It means white. I'm not German. I'm what they call Jewish by German consent, or German by Jewish consent. Have it your way. That was the name they gave to my father in 1911 and his family when they came from Russia with the family name of Vysotsky, W-I-S-O-T-Z-K-Y or something like Vysotsky, and they didn't want a new American to have a Russian name, so they gave him a German one. And my father and his family, and along with hundreds of thousands of other immigrants from Eastern Europe, ended up becoming Weisses. Well, you can pretty much assume that anybody with the last name Weiss in America is Jewish, and unlike me, they're more than likely a lawyer or a doctor. And maybe if I was smart, I would have become one of them. But overall, I'm glad I didn't. Especially a doctor. Barbara S., good morning to you. 8:34. Terry Sue says, Jerry Bell said, how's the coffee? Coffee is great this morning. It's unadulterated. No nothing except coffee in it. It's not bad. It's made in a Cuisinart drip maker with a thermos carafe. So the coffee doesn't get heated by a heating element after it's made. It's a good coffee maker. Makes it just at the right temperature and then keeps it there at least until noon. And that's perfect because I'm not drinking any afternoon anyway. This is my second cup, and I may have one more to put my creatine in later in the morning. Tina says, "I'll never forget you, Mitch. You helped make my life amazing." Thank you so much, Tina. Thank you. You guys, all of you make my life amazing. And in more ways than you can imagine. I don't know if I want to touch on it here or not, but on Kilts this morning, the subject of artificial intelligence was brought up. I'm very aware of that. I'm very aware of what it's being used for. I'm very aware of the fraud, the propaganda, the manipulation of people, especially on YouTube. I'm aware of the fact that when I try to research something, like when I researched creatine, more than 50% of the videos that were presented to me were phony. They weren't real. Right now, you see Ken Berry's, Jordan Peterson's, Anthony Chaffee's face on a thumbnail and hear his voice narrating a video. It's phony. It's phony. It's dangerous. The naive out there keep saying, well, maybe we won't use artificial intelligence for nefarious purposes because it can be really helpful. Like if you want to design a drawing or you want to generate text for a script. That may be so. But the nefarious uses of it are going to, and I said in Kelsey's chat this morning, my comment, and that's all I'll talk about it right now, is it's the most dangerous threat to the human race that ever existed. It will end our existence and our way of life in a very few years if somehow we don't recognize it. That warning came from everybody from Elon Musk to anybody that really could foresee the damage that could be caused when you don't know whether you're watching the real Donald Trump or an AI-generated video showing him doing something that would cause you to want to kill him. And that's what's happening to us. I've learned after all this time with AI now to be able to recognize the subtleties of when something is AI or not. It's true, about 80% of the videos I watch on YouTube now have AI-generated narration. That's easy to pick out. The AI-generated videos of a real person that we're familiar with, sometimes they're almost impossible to detect. And the warning is, if you're watching anything on YouTube or any other platform, TikTok or Instagram, assume it's phony. And what got me onto this was the fact that there are so few places in this world where online you can pretty well feel comfortable that you're around real people and that you're just not conversing with bots and robots. And so much of what goes on internet dating sites and everything else doesn't even involve real people. People are now turning to machines. It's so bad now that sometimes machines don't even know they're talking to another machine, and they're going off and having a life of their own. This cannot end well. And we're not going to end it, but it's ruining YouTube. YouTube is becoming a cesspool, a trash heap of automated garbage. The advertisers who pay money to present their products to real people are catching on. They're catching on. The bot farms that create 100, 200,000 phony views on a video so they can jack up the advertising rates. Advertisers are getting wise to this. View counts are going down across YouTube as they try to ferret out these bots. Advertising revenues go down and down and down. And for little guys like me, you wake up every morning and say, how did my channel do yesterday? It never did as good yesterday as it did the day before. And it's dwindling to nothing. Which makes us all think, why even bother? Why even bother? I bother because I love this and I love you guys. And I come here in the morning. I beg for coffees because that helps. Because I know bots aren't going to buy me any coffees. I find products that you might like, but none of that stuff makes me a living here. And it's because of the direction this is going in. When Elon Musk took over Twitter, he estimated 80% of all Twitter accounts were bots. I know there's no fixing it. I've already resigned myself to that. So I come here to be among people I know are real. And it's the last bastion of community without actually being in the same room with people. And that is a fact. And I could show you evidence for the next 3 weeks to prove it to you, because I've seen it. And that's a shame. That's a shame. So we're either all going to have down the road, as long as we keep turning to social media and our TVs and computers for companionship and for something to do, something to look at, we're going to have to be very wary that we don't become great friends with some machine. It has an agenda and it's trying to reprogram our brains for one reason or another. And whatever you see on YouTube, just, I'm telling you, assume it's phony. When you see Ken Berry pop up on a thumbnail, just, I can't imagine being a big star whose face like Jordan Peterson. My God, that guy, he's got so many videos you think are his that don't have nothing to do with him. And now with AI, they can make him say anything they want, even if it's something they disagree with. They could use AI to have him endorse their products, and you don't know that it's not really him. And I'm telling you, more than half the videos I watch researching anything right now are phony. So how do you know what to believe? I think I'm pretty smart, and even I can't figure out, is that really legitimate? Wow, wow, wow. And especially when it comes to health and supplements and that involve products, that's when they really go crazy with this stuff. So try to find the legitimate supplement that actually works. Like the creatine gummies that actually have creatine in them. Wow, is a concept. So at any rate, I have that on my show notes to mention today, so I got that out of the way. That's good. I mentioned that I'm out of the closet as far as my last name is concerned because, quite frankly, the Terminator has died. Many of you know what that means. That was the nickname I used for my ex-wife, who I've been divorced from for 20 years. And during a period of 20 years, her reason for living was to see me go to jail for crimes against her, which didn't exist because she was a raving psychopath, bipolar lunatic. And basically the last 20 years of my life has been in hiding. I've moved, I've changed my phone number, changed my email so many times, just so her lawyers couldn't find me, because that's all she was doing. She was turning me into police department's lawyers. Why? She says I stole her money when we got divorced. I went broke before we got divorced, had no money, and even if I did take some money, it would have been my money. I'm the one that earned the damn money. But she was that way. She alienated her family, all her friends. She was so paranoid. She was the victim. She had plastic surgeons do cosmetic surgery on them. She caused one of them to commit suicide. She hounded them so much for ruining her life. Everybody ruined her life, and she ruined mine. And she died a month ago. And there's not a soul on the planet Earth that has any ill will against me, not even her family and her kids, because they know the truth. But I had to hide for 20 years. When I wrote my book 22 years ago, I had to use my initial, M.H. Weiss. I wouldn't dare put the words Mitch Weiss together because she'd find it somewhere on Google and try to put me in jail, get me thrown in jail. And you know something? Even if there's no truth to it, when a woman complains to an authority that she's being abused by a man, they always believe her and they will go after her. And they came after me. And what I had to do to prove to them that I was innocent of all that and she was the one that was causing the problems, I'm lucky I did, or I might have been in jail for my whole life. And maybe I'm a little bitter about having to be on the run for a lifetime because of a lunatic, stupid, crazy psychopath. But that's what it means for me to be able to put my name out there in public and not worry about knocks on the door and having law enforcement want to have asked me a few questions, which has happened to me time and time again. And interesting enough, it still makes me sad that she died. It makes me sad because it was a sickness. And really not her fault. She was sick. And she certainly turned into a person that wasn't the person that I met 40-some years ago when I first met her. And that's so bad. Rick says, I had a woman accuse me of sexual harassment, but my gay friend got that through. Yeah, they'll do that. They do that. What is it? Why do women do it? Not all women do that, but they weaponize. They get their feelings hurt. They feel the need to destroy somebody's life. Boy, I've dealt with so many people. I was paranoid when I had my company. I couldn't even say to a woman, "You look pretty today." Without a team of lawyers coming in. It's gotten way out of hand. I mean, you can't live in this world anymore and not be paranoid about somebody trying to destroy you for nothing, because they can, and we've given them the way to do it. And we all know politically who the party of that is. So there you go. All right. I will stop ranting. And if you got some questions for me today, I don't think I have anything else in the show notes that could be important, but we'll be here for a little while yet. We'll be here. Somebody bought me a coffee. Jane. Oh, Jane, thank you so much. Jane says, thanks, Mitch, for helping to make my life amazing too. Like Tina said, I only have one regret in life. Really, one really big regret. And this comes from the heart. I wish that I had long ago met some of you, some of the women that are here, instead of the one I finally settled on. My whole life would have been different, because I know that the people that are here and the women that are here could not have it in them to perpetrate the injustices that my ex did. And I regret that. Maybe too late now. I'm damaged, if you can't tell. I tried to find another relationship, but I saw just the tiniest little bit of her personality in whatever woman I tried to date, and it ran like hell. Bolted. One of them used the expression, I can't believe you bolted, Mitch. All it took was a certain word, a certain attitude. And I've still carried that kind of damage to this day. And it's sad. Because all I ever did for the woman for the whole time was give her things, try to make her happy, love her, take her on a live vacations, buy her fancy cars, let her have the life of a queen. And no matter what I did, how good it was, she found some reason to find fault with it and accused me of ruining her life. And and I kept trying. And even after we got divorced, I kept trying. I can't even talk about it because I started. Well, it makes me relive all that. But I don't fear any trips to my mailbox anymore. I used to be afraid to go to the mailbox every day for fear I'd have some new legal demand or something. You have no idea. Some of you may have dealt with people in your lives like that. And that's why I called her the Terminator. She would not quit. So people ask you, why don't you kill her? Because I'm not a killer. That's why the thought never crossed my mind. I just figured that someday she's going to die. Hopefully it won't be too late for me to reclaim just a tiny little bit of whatever life I got left. And sure enough, I had to have a stroke, which changed my whole life before she died. But that's life. That's life. And I'm here. I'm here. What time am I up to? 8:41. Anyway, you got questions. Question Bacon Baby says, what is the best way to drink Lucy? It tastes pretty bad. You know, I got an email. Who is it from? I got it. It was there this morning. Barry, oh, look at the people buying coffees. I didn't even put the link up. You guys are very industrious and found the link. Thank you. Thank you. Jane bought me a coffee. Barry Simon, to cover your 3 coffees this morning, Mr. Weiss. Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Simon. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. And if I didn't know any better, I may be wrong, but the name Barry Simon might be an MOT. And it may not be. That means Jewish. For those of you that don't know what MOT means, it means member of the tribe. It's kind of like a secret handshake among we Jewish people. Another thing we call each other is Landsman. Landsman means countryman in German or Yiddish. But the name Simon is a very common Jewish name. And Barry, I know Obama's name was Barry, but it's a very common Jewish name, Barry. So I may be right or I may be wrong. Either way, I love you. Thank you, Barry. Thank you so much. And if you want to send me a coffee, the link's in the description of the video, so I won't bother placing it up on the screen. Thank you very much. And let me get rid of that pinned comment because you're all welcomed already anyway. So there you go. Get that out of the way in the chat. Peter says, Amy, thanks so much for asking. I'm a little bit better today. It's so hard. I haven't been through a breakup. Oh, you did break up. This is my divorce 13 years ago, but I'll be okay. It's all for the best. Wasn't going to work. We do have a tendency, Peter. I'm guilty of it too. We should know the signs right away and bolt. And just get out of there before we get too emotionally invested in it. And women should do the same thing. This isn't just men. As soon as there's something about this person that you think you might have a future with, that just you decide, well, I can probably change them. You're deluding yourself, and if it's that much, you have to think about it. And you can't live with it, and it's annoying, whatever, just get the hell out of there. You're better off alone. That's the lesson I finally learned after all those years and all those women I went through. You're better off alone than having to live with the tension of the next shoe going to drop? When's the next insult going to come? When's the next expression of dissatisfaction when you're doing everything you possibly can? Because you want a relationship to work. Don't want a relationship to work. My Mitch's advice to the lovelorn. A relationship either works or it doesn't. Should require no effort. Anybody tells you, you got to work at it. Who wants to work? It works or it doesn't work. Now, I know that 90% of the relationships that people try to make work require work. And coincidentally, over 50% of marriages fail. And of the 50% that stay married, 90% of them wish they could get divorced. So there's your 90% of the relationships by themselves that need work. So you start going to therapy, get out while you can. That's Mitch's advice to the lovelorn. But it's tough because a relationship is impossible to find. If you find one when you're young and you're still married to your childhood sweetheart, God, are you a fortunate person? Married to somebody you think is your soulmate. I got news for you. Soulmates come along once in a blue moon. I don't know if I really ever met my soulmate. I was married twice. Neither one worked out. My first wife was a wonderful woman, mother of my children. We had nothing in common. We were very young. Got married for all the wrong reasons. I don't regret it. But kind of knew it was time to call quits after 15 years of marriage, and the kids were grown up enough to understand. Second one I fell into because I thought, how can I not be married? I've always been married. That's just the thing you need to be. And one thing led to another, and I found myself married again. I don't know. I look at my grandparents. They fought like hell, but they loved each other, so that wasn't bad. But they were older. My parents had a good marriage. My father was of the temperament that he could put up with my mother, and he played golf. They were both happy enough, and neither one of them was ecstatic. But so, Peter, take a little time off. My advice to you. Because we men panic. We panic. I understand. We panic when we don't have a girlfriend. Oh my God, what am I going to do? And we go on a mission to find another one real quick. Take some time off. Enjoy your autonomy, Peter. I remember how I was. It was my every waking thought revolved around, well, let's see, there's 6 internet dating sites. I need to be on all of them. I need to try to find a girlfriend. Women have an easier time than men. Women say, I'm not dating for a while. But men, because they're men and they have the drives, they need to have a companion. And we make the same mistake over and over again. I could give dating advice now till the cows come home. I have discovered everything that does not work. The thing I haven't discovered is what does work. The brunt of my dating advice would be don't. And they've made it just so impossible. Where are you supposed to find a partner? If you don't go out to bars, which is not the place to find a partner, you don't belong to a church where they have dances and socials. You're not in so big social organizations, and on the internet, who is? You tend to go to social media for dating. That's rife with fraud. God, my God. So where do you go to find somebody? Used to be one of the greatest places to find somebody was the workplace. Remember, maybe many of you aren't old enough to remember, it was okay to flirt at work. It was okay for a man to tell a woman how nice she looked or he liked her hair. Until you women decided that we men are sexists and you started all this sexual harassment stuff, which is not harassment. Now, I always had a great disdain for sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is when the boss says to an underling, "You don't have sex with me, I'm going to fire you." That, my friends, is despicable. Should never happen. It's usually men. But women have done it to men too. Some women are sexual predators as well, but mostly it's a man's role. And that started the sexual harassment movement. And then the lawyers got involved and said, wow, we can sue these big companies now. If we can find some woman to complain that she's uncomfortable at work because a man complimented her about they liked her hair. And that ruined the last vestige of a realistic place for two people to meet, really get to know each other. Not like internet dating, but really get to know each other. You work alongside a coworker for 6 months or a year and then fall in love. Odds are you may have found your soulmate. It takes time. But no. And I was especially cognizant of this because I was an employer. You talk about defensive. We had to go to training. We had to have a policy in writing up on the bulletin boards to protect ourselves so that each one of our employees knew that it's a no-no to ever tell your coworker, who's a female, that you think her hair looks good today. Because we'll all go to jail. Well, that screwed it up. The one last vestige of a good place to meet somebody is gone. That left the internet. And my friends, it's all fraud and lies. And right now, half of those women who are on, or men that are on these dating sites, are not real. They're not real. They are Nigerians posing as hot young women to scam you out of everything you've got when they hook you into hopefulness that you found this hot young thing that just can't live without you, but she's got this problem and her family's got that problem and she's going to work on an oil rig somewhere and they won't let her come off and she needs $100,000 for this and $50,000 for that, and then we can be together and live happily. How stupid are people to fall for that? They're not stupid, they're desperate. And so we got a world right now full of desperate people who are alone. And that, my friends, is the saddest thing in the world. And that's reality. That's reality. I think you have to live long enough to actually accept that fact, because who wants to think that the world is that ridiculous a place? But it is. But it is. And we've got our community here, guys. We've got us. We're all real. There are no bots in this chat. We can talk to each other. tonight, the private community, we get together and be on the screen and actually see the people. That's the value of that. That's the value of that. Otherwise, I would say believe only half of what you see, but that's would be flaming optimism on my part. And we've turned ourselves into detectives trying to pick out the fraud everywhere we look. Everywhere we look. I get it every day when I get these emails wanting me to sell their stuff. I get 4 or 5 of them every day from bots. They're bot generated. It's a machine. Somebody programmed it to send an email to virtually anybody that might want to represent or sell their product. And Bacon Baby's question, with all that pontificating, is still up there. What's the best way to drink leucine? God. Get sidetracked much, Mitch? Well, yes, absolutely. Let me see here. What's this? I thank Barry for the coffee. Let's see if I missed any. Barry, Simon, and Jane, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Leucine, I went to look at the emails, what I wanted to do. And it was from Lorraine. And hi, Mitch, regarding your leucine, you describe it as stinky and say that it tastes not very pleasant. I'm wondering if there's something wrong with your brand. And then she sent me a picture of the bulk supplement, orange bag, their brand of leucine, and she says, the bulk nutrients brand that I use is made right here in Australia, and it is 100% pharmaceutical grade L-leucine and tastes great. Wow. I almost bought that one because I use those bulk supplement brand for my electrolyte mix. It may be beneficial for you to try a different brand and see if it tastes better. Well, I got news for you. I appreciate that email, Lorraine, if you're watching. And if you're not, I'm going to reply to your email that I will buy that the next time, because it can't be any worse than the shit that I'm using now, which I've determined really has leucine in it. And I would assume that the bulk supplements brand has leucine in it because I'm very happy with their magnesium citrate, potassium chloride, and been working great. So, in fact, that's what's in here. Cheers, everybody. So that was a timely question, Bacon Baby, very timely question, and the consensus of opinion that I've seen in so many videos and so many comments about leucine is that it smells like rotten cheese and tastes worse. It's not too bad. I mean, I don't think it smells like rotten cheese. It's not the pleasantest of things, but after a couple of weeks of it, I kind of almost even enjoyed it. Morning coffee. I'm used to the taste. You know, they say you can acquire. It's an acquired taste. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I don't want to acquire some of these tastes, but it's okay. And I really think I'm getting benefits. I really think something's helping. I haven't touched. It's been almost a week now. I haven't touched my walker during the day. After I get up in the morning, I leave it back there and just walk everywhere. If I have to go somewhere in the car, I walk out to the car. I got a walker in the back of the car if I need to walk a long distance to the parking lot or something. But other than that, around the house, I probably end up going at maybe 1,000 steps. Certainly not the 10,000 we're supposed to, but you're a stroke victim and you walk 1,000 steps. That's a lot of friggin' walking. You can get real tired. The thing that makes it even worse, I found, is balancing. So anyway, on the leucine, let me finish up this question. The leucine thing, it does taste pretty bad, But I can tolerate it in coffee. The only way that I can think, and I wouldn't recommend it, not to us, would be to mix it with something that has a strong flavor, like a lot of people do with their electrolytes. And I don't recommend that. Bite the bullet. Bite the bullet. Mix it, and just gulp it down in a gulp and follow it with a water chaser or something. But there may be some Bacon Baby. Michael Pringles says, I mix heavy cream, whip it, and then add coffee. That's, I think, what what she does in Australia, because she showed me a picture of it all frothed up. I don't particularly like my coffee frothed up. I like my coffee just black. And so you might experiment with it, but if it didn't smell bad, I would be suspicious that it didn't smell bad because there was no leucine in that particular brand, or whatever it is. Good question, and I honestly think there's some benefit to it. Although the detractors of supplementation, of which I am one in a lot of cases, say that you can always find leucine in food. If you eat the right foods, you get plenty of leucine and creatine, and that's probably true. The reason I decided to supplement it was this one particular strategy of taking it first thing in the morning with coffee and caffeine in combination, because without the influence of the availability of all the other amino acids from the food you've eaten, if you've eaten already in the day, it would have no competition. No competition as far as getting 100% of the attention from your metabolism, and it really gives you a shot from it. Really gives you a shot. Like drinking alcohol on an empty stomach does. Nothing to slow down the absorption in your system. And that's why I do it in the morning. Take 5 grams of it, and even if the food I eat during the day has leucine in it, my body will still use it. But to get it into those muscles, it has the effect of hydrating the muscles, taking it in. I take that jolt first thing after I've hydrated at least 8 ounces of electrolyte mix and plenty of fluids available. And I really believe that it's starting to work. I really believe that I can actually sense that I'm gaining muscle back and maybe losing a little of this extra fat I put on. We'll see. I have to always keep in mind, however, that I am 78 plus years old. And one of the reasons that they recommend these kind of supplements, they recommend them more for aging people than for people who are 30 or 40, because everything just works less efficiently when you get older, until it doesn't work at all and you die. And that's just inevitable for all of us. Nobody's claiming life extension benefits or anything else. We're just saying that maybe when you get older, besides the cane you need to walk, maybe you need a little help in the metabolism department as well. That's why old people don't have the energy of young people. Things wear out, get damaged. Most of the damage is caused by the lifestyle that we have elected anyway. And most of us are trying to get back on track and fix that. So we all have a disadvantage. Roxanne Fred said, how can we tell the difference with the videos? You mean as far as whether they're AI or not? It's very subtle. The AI voices aren't so bad. So many people are using it because they just can't, they're not good narrators. But just listen carefully. You can tell a word will be mispronounced, and then the same word will be mispronounced over again. I tell you, I got this new cell phone, and I was watching all these videos. The 5 best cases for this phone. 7 best cases for this one. Don't buy these cases for this one. Blah, 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 blah. What I'm telling you, they're all the same. They all use the same little clips of stock video that comes from the manufacturer of the case, and they all have artificially narrated voices. And some of them are very hard to tell, the voice. But there was one sentence in this video, and I used it before, and they used 2 numbers somewhere in there. One of them, they were talking about decades, is in the 70s and 80s. Okay, and it said, the text said 70. It may not even been the cell phone one. It might have been something else. In the 70s and 80s, you know how they keep flashing words. That's another way you can tell that most of these things are phony. You see all these words flashing in the screen. It's all being generated by a machine. They know that drills the message into your subconscious without you even knowing it. So they do that. That's just indoctrination 101. That's how they brainwash prisoners, by bombarding them with stimulus. I won't watch a video that has the text go by. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Norwich, Kenbury, anybody. Anybody has flashing text up there while they're talking, I'm gone. I'm gone. Talk to me. You want to talk to me? Talk to me. Or show me a picture to emphasize what you're saying? Fine. That's how the world works. But do not drill things into my mind. I won't have it. I can't stand it. It's annoying. When somebody's talking to me, I want to watch their lips and eyes. Because I saw a video the other day. They were talking about some health thing. It was an AI voice, but they had a doctor in a white coat, relatively small, standing at the bottom half of the screen. And the words were flashing, and you never looked at the doctor. Well, I stopped looking at the words flashing, and I looked at this doctor. Come to find out, it was a loop. The doctor's lips had nothing to do with the words coming out of his mouth, but you wouldn't notice that because you were fixated on the text. And I looked at the name of the channel, and it was Senior Health. I had actually watched another video from that channel. It's the same thing. I didn't notice it. I went and told YouTube, hide that channel. Hide that from my feed. I don't ever want to see another video from that channel. And since I started recognizing these things, I have banned hundreds of them, and they're all the same, with slight variations of the name, but the same MO, the same scripts, the same subjects, the same videos, the same graphics. And these machines are generating thousands of these phony channels to capitalize on any research being done or searched by any of people looking out there for things to improve their health, which is basically everybody. And I'm at the point right now where 50% is even generous of me to say maybe 50% of them are legitimate. They're not. The internet is dead as a useful tool today. It's dead. It really is. Because how do you know? Nobody can certify this as real. Most of it's opinion anyway. So you got to have a community like Kiltsy or me or even Ken Berry, as long as you're a member of his private community, because the videos are pouring out trying to capitalize on his reputation. Same thing with Chafee. God, I see his image popping up everywhere. Jordan Peterson? That guy's been raped. How about Joe Rogan? So I can't tell you how to notice, but I noticed in that one video, let me finish answering your question, where the artificial voice had to read and pronounce 70s and 80s. It said, in the 70s and the 80s, and that's it, then you know the machine was specifically taught how to conjugate that number with the S after it. Now, that won't last long. There's always exceptions that a machine can't read. Hell, people can't read, pronounce words. But sooner or later, they will get every one of those exceptions programmed in. So many of those exceptions require context to pronounce correctly. And it takes more time to ferret out those thousands of different deviations, which count for accents and dialects and things like that. But just like machine translation, it gets better and better the more they teach the AI what the exceptions are and the more computer power they have behind the machinery running the AI to be able to examine 1 million exceptions in between pronouncing the words. Scary. It's scary. It's scary. And it may end up in a year or two that none of us are here anymore. Because I'll get tired. I'll get tired of fighting machines. Bad enough you got to fight people. That's why I will not debate with anybody in a comment. Well, won't argue. You don't agree with me? Fine, go away. I just won't. Because more often than not, you end up debating with a machine. What do I care what the machine thinks? Maybe I can maneuver it into the right answer by being clever. People have shown, make a big deal out of saying, I got the AI to admit that meat is the healthiest. A big effing deal. Why bother? Laurie says, we love you too much. Whatever that was for, Laurie, I certainly love you guys too, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. That's why I come here in the morning, to feel the love. My God. It'll be very lonely. That keeps me in cases. Coffee keeps going up in price. And I ask you, Kay, what makes coffee unique in that respect? That's funny. Oh my God, I'm way behind. All right, let me start racing because it's already 9:37. I got a video to make today, guys. Got to get to work. Robbie Autry says, question, Mitch, how do you feel about Paul Saladino transitioning away from carnivore? I do not agree with his views. And I don't care about Paul. I don't give a shit. Just don't care. Honestly, don't care. Paul Saladino, who? Why would I care about Paul Saladino? I watched his videos way back. The minute he got on this fruit and honey kick, I said, maybe you, Paul, living in Costa Rica, surfing every day, jock, genetically suited to putting on muscle, young man, have nothing in common with me. So what if something works for you? What's that got to do with me, Paul? Come back and see me, Paul, when you're 80 years old. Tell me how that honey and fruit worked out for you. When you can't surf anymore because a shark bit your leg off, okay? That's what I care about, Paul Saladino. There you go. There's always going to be a Paul Saladino. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't do well on carnivore for one reason or another, or does it wrong, or is it? We can't take them seriously. Let them go. Let them go. Do we need them? I wasn't too rough on Paul Saladino there, but honest to God, why would any of us care? Why would any of us care? Laurie says, please feel free to tell me I look pretty today, Mr. Weiss. Oh, that was what I was talking about, the sex drive. You look pretty, Laurie. You always do. All my gals. We're the best. Yes, sir. Oh, God. Kurt. Oh, man. You can understand what I went through. In and out of court for 3 years with mother of my daughter accusing me of molestation. Oh, man. Well, the good news is the cigars are coming this afternoon, Kurt. That you bought me. Thank you so much. But I know what it's like. You don't stand a chance. You're guilty until proven innocent. And how do you prove yourself innocent? How can you prove you didn't do something when somebody else is accusing you of it? You can't. You cannot win. That's why don't be so quick to jump back into another relationship with somebody that's not mentally balanced. The biggest clue is, are they a vegetarian? Do they not eat meat? By God, don't ever date one of them. They are brain damaged by virtue of their diet, and nothing you do is going to ever be right with them because they got protests. They've got to pour blood on people. They've got to go sit in the middle of the highway and block traffic protesting animal cruelty and climate change. Look for the clues. You better find somebody that you align with on everything, politics, diet, or you're never going to be happy. I know so many people, carnivores, married to vegans. It can't work. It can't work long term. Sorry. Somebody's going to have to make all the concessions, or each is going to have to make concessions. Eventually, it may take until the kids are gone, but eventually I think you basically got to go your separate ways. Got to go your separate ways. All right, let's see what we got here. Questions. I got to catch up. I always do this to myself. Mitch, you just talk too much. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Sometimes I wonder why I have so much to say. But I do. It comes from somewhere. Barry Simon, thank you, Barry Simon. Get out while you can from the movie Dave. Yeah, I remember Dave. You remember that movie Dave with Kevin Kline? Yeah, spoken by Charles Grodin. Get out while you can. It's true. It's true, Barry. We don't do it though, do we? We do not do it. It was too hard to find. We're not so eager to leave it. There's so much more to that. Kitchen Witch, Tanya, how you doing, Tanya? How are you? I didn't say hi to you yet today. Aaron's still here. Look at them all. That's a chat range supreme, I'll tell you. 9:19, half an hour behind. I'm just going to look for the questions now, guys, because I'll get involved in the chat and go off on some other tangent. And there's always tomorrow. It's tonight, too. We have a big turnout tonight. A lot of people in the chat. Got to hear Peter. Got to hear all about the the big changes you're making. Peter might be a little shy about coming in tonight. Not one to answer the questions. You got friends, Peter. You got friends. You're not alone. You're not alone. I don't feel alone. So rely on the community. I know it's tough. Questions? I'm good. I'm cruising now. There's one. There's one. It says, Kathy, Florida, Mitch, wait till we have real-time AI YouTube content creators. It will be live stream AI. That's not far away. That's not the progress curve is becoming hockey stick shape. Is going to be going straight up. Orders of magnitude. Today you don't know. The funniest part of it is going to be when the machines are talking to the machines, and they all get so smart that they can't better each other, so they all get so frustrated that the computers blow up and explode and start to smoke, blowing out the entire power grid in the process, and we're all propelled back into the dark ages when the machines short circuit. And any of you who didn't watch The Terminator for the first time and didn't say to yourself, that could happen. Also didn't watch Idiocracy 30 years ago and didn't say to yourself, that could happen, because it's happening. Both of them. Both of them are happening. Humans are getting dumber and machines are taking over. We're figuring out how to make a buck in the process. That's all we care about. How can I use this? Not for the benefit of mankind. There were also those people who thought back in the 40s when they had the Manhattan Project and developed the nuclear weapons. Well, humanity certainly wouldn't use that for evil, would they? Humanity will figure out a way to weaponize virtually everything. They call that politics. They're doing it today. They're doing it every minute of every day. And every story that you see on the news shows you they're doing that. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. I'm going to get through this. Amy, on your paid membership live streams, you allow guests to come on as long as the guests are members, yes. Yeah, we do that. That's what we do every Thursday night. Every Thursday night, I put the link, like a Zoom call, put the link up there in the chat, and anybody who's there. Now, I can invite a non-member guest to come on if I wanted to. For example, if I wanted Kiltz to come on and feature him on the private community live stream, I could send him the link. I could send anybody the link I want. But the only place I ever publish that link now is in the chat. And the only people that can see the chat are members. So, yeah, every Thursday night we have a great time because you really get a chance to be with the people. And unlike Kiltz's community Zoom call, where they have a guest every week, and basically most of the people who call can ask a question. They come in. They don't just get to come in and have chats, and chat away and meet all the people and leave me out of it, even if they want to. And Ketone Seeker, thank you so much. Sent 5 Old Guy Carnivore gift memberships. Good. Thank you so much for those people. And they are Kel, K-E-L, Keto Carnivore Edens, Rose Devereaux, Gordon Cook, and Adrian Spitz received the gift membership courtesy of Ketone Seeker. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And you could come in tonight and check it out. And hopefully you'll have a good time. Well, you always have a good time. There it is. So I'm almost caught up in the chat. Almost caught up. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. I did. I caught up. Got a very patient crowd sits there waiting. Doesn't make a sound until appropriate. What's that? Another one? I got another one. Ketone Seeker again. Did you do that on purpose? Get to 5 more memberships. Oh my God, look at this. Bacon Baby. Be there. Bacon Baby received a membership. Angie Ralph, Sybil V. Deb Olson. Howdy, partner. Wow. Thank you so much. 10 new members tonight. I'd like to see that really build up. If it builds up to really mean something, we'll have more of the private community stuff, and maybe less work on all the other stuff. I would love to be in a position like Ken Berry. I never will. I don't have the knowledge he has, or I didn't get the head start that he has. And Amy, Rockin' Keto, Amy, welcome to channel support. Amy just joined, still with the old name, Rockin'. Welcome, Amy. Welcome. Thank you so much. See you tonight. And if you don't like it, you don't have to renew it. You can always just say, I'll give it a shot. But Ken has thousands and thousands of members, and he keeps raising the prices on his. And people feel like they're getting something. Most people join Ken Berry's community because they want to be able to get what they think is cheap medical advice. Maybe they do. And they talk a lot about that. To me, those live streams and Zoom calls where everybody's just talking about their medical problems just bore the hell out of me. And especially if I don't have that particular medical problem, that's not something I want to talk about. Rockin' Keto Emmy says, I have 2 channels now. Oh, okay. Wow. So that's terrific. We'll see you there tonight. That'd be great. Greta Brunswick says, that's very generous. There it is. Very generous of ketones. Yes, it is. Thank you. Gary Noslow last week. Gary got 10 people, gifted 10 memberships too. So, wow. I keep saying we have a great group of people here. Great group of people. Amy, no, I don't think you got a subscription gift. Didn't you just join? I don't think you got a gift. Let me scroll back in this chat here. You can see it. And see who got the gifts. No, you didn't get the gifts from the second 5. No, sorry, you didn't get a free one. But thank you for joining anyway. You all can, anytime on a replay, you can go back and the chat shows up. And you can take a look at all the chat. And Amy says, I did. I paid for the subscription. Yes. Yes. Well, listen, everybody, thank you so much for coming today. I hope it was worthwhile for you. See you tonight. I'll be putting a video out somewhere between 2 and 3 o'clock this afternoon. So I'm not going to be absent today. Going to be plenty of exposure on YouTube. Now I got to get to work and start filming. So, and then I got to start eating. Then I got to start editing. I'm going to be busy. Say goodbye to your friends in the chat. Yes. Who's saying goodbye? Tammy and Lori and Greta and Sandy Blythe and Peter and Aaron, Rick. See you later or tomorrow. See you tonight, Rick. Thomas is saying goodbye and Tanya is saying goodbye. Bacon Baby and Terry Sue and Denise Kink. Everybody's waving. The emojis are running wild. Smoothie, take care, everyone. Wayne Herman says bye, everyone. Bye, Wayne. We'll see you later. And that'll about wrap it up. Down to the last sip or two of coffee. Lori says, I dread starting my day as always, but at least it's off to a great start. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you for being here, Lori. Appreciate it. And there it is, my friends. So, I will see you all tonight. Until then, take the rest of the day off and eat yourself some meat.